spirit of the people. Tell me a little bit about that. This is your
our
work?
paintings here. The name is the main thing is batik art.
Okay.
The spirit of a people. The population is the population from Indonesia.
Okay.
And because the batik is a traditional way of dyeing textiles. Mi sta registrando. And we are from Italy actually, so my English is a little bit odd probably. But we try to explain.
Okay.
And we speak also Indonesian because it's 25 years we live there. And as I was saying, the tradition, the special things about these paintings is their techniques that allowed us to make so many different colors because we use these antique tools and technique. The name batik, I don't know if you know what it means, is
Please tell me.
Indo-Malaysian language, and it means banyak tik-tik. You will see so many colors there. Banyak tik-tik means many small dots, because everything we obtain to have a real detailed on both sides is using a lot of dots. This little instrument, this is an antique thing made out of bamboo and a little copper, and it's a kind of old pen. But we don't use this to apply colors, we use this to apply wax. Wax.
Yes.
We take the liquid wax
Uh-huh.
and we cover the cloth with wax to avoid kind of protection for the colors, because when we will be going into the colors, the bath, we will cover the cloth unless there is something that is covering, masking what we don't want to have of certain color. I know it's long procedure. In fact, to make one of these paintings, it took us minimum 1 month. Minimum.
1 month.
If there is sunshine. If it's rainy season, more.
No, because of humidity.
Because of the humidity and because also the kind of colors that we are using, they have to react with the sun
to dry.
If it's cloudy, they will not have the exact reaction, and we will not have such bright colors.
Okay. Is there a way to have artificial sun or
no way.
UV lighting? Or?
No, actually, you know, we are using the most traditional way because we are trying to keep the people that are also interacting and working with us, continuing their traditions. You know, nowadays everything looks like machinery and made by machine and made in big quantities. So they didn't see any future for their
and that being part of the story behind the work as a selling medium to be able to promote it. That it's a traditional piece.
That's why we are going around the world and we are exhibiting our things, not only in Italy, but also in all the Caribbean islands, the Bahamas Islands, because we would like the people know, because you know sometimes when we say batik, a lot of people say, oh, batik, I know very well, yes, but actually what is a real batik and how much work is behind the batik and how many people and all the skillfulness. You imagine, this is a work of art.
It is.
Normally for us.
And they're quite striking and beautiful.
Thank you very much. You're very kind. I hope you really
very,
like them.
I do.
They are all different. You know, there are many different groups that works and many different styles. You can see the optical styles, the black and white, that looks like moving because they give this optical effect from far away.
Yes.
And then you have the photographics that if you see from like a close-up, like that one, that is a grandfather, Indonesian grandfather, you will see how thousands little dots we have to make all
these images. I can't believe that's each a little dot of what size? Just a pinprick or?
You see, like this one, this is the biggest. All the other are more small than this one.
That is amazing.
And you imagine the people that do these things, they were doing this hundreds of years ago. You know, maybe in art in France, It started around 150 years ago, 200 years ago. The pointillé, that was a style, art style for painting. They were not mixing colors, they were doing a lot of little points. Suppose you want to have green color, you should take normally blue color, yellow color, and mix them together.
In the color
but what they were doing was doing a lot of little blue dots and a lot of little yellow dots, and you see from far, and it was green.
It makes one illusion, that's true.
Yeah,
it
and
becomes
this is the same way we are doing the coloring, because when you see from far away,
yes,
you see also the what you say in English, a proportion, perspective.
Perspective, that's right.
It's very difficult to give perspective to something that is very flat, because you know we don't have the
3D,
three-dimensional effect with the brush. So what we have to do is they develop this kind of pointillé, of dotting, a lot of dots. If you can see from here, that one with the rice fields.
With the rice,
you see that one.
Yeah.
You see there is the green part that is water. And if you see from here, because of the light, the playing with the colors, it looks like it's flowing the water.
It does quite a bit. It's it looks raised. Almost. Yes. There's depth to it. Depth, a little bit of depth.
Yes,
If people want to purchase something later, then you have to contact via the
That
website.
is quite a glass effect that you have on the water. I could tell that it must take a lot of shades, many different shades that you have to apply.
You're right. And imagine to have a shade, we cannot apply a shade with the brush, but we have to go again and dip the cloth into a bath of colors. So every different shade we have is a bath of colors, and every bath, it means we have to apply wax before to protect both sides of the cloth, and then we have to hang it, wait until it's dried.
It must take quite a lot of vision to know where you want to go before.
You are absolutely right. The thing is, we are working with people that share the same vision, because I am working with my husband and with the master of coloring, the man who prepare colors, and the lady that is always using this. So it means there are 4 people that have to share the same idea, and we have also to know